Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. It is a Tuesday night, and I have been wanting to do this video for about a week now. CourtneyWithLove tagged me in a questions nobody asks tag. So I've been anxious to have a little bit of time to sit down and do this tag. There's quite a few questions, so what I'm going to do is the questions that I know I have an answer for, I will answer. If I think I have to stop and think hard, I'll skip it and come back to it another time. And there's 43 questions, so that's a little bit long. Let's just get right to it. Do you go by a nickname? No, and I felt bad as a child that I did not have a nickname. Everybody in my family did. My brother Roland Jr. was Sonny. Actually, he went by Sonny Boy growing up. We dropped the boy later in life. My brother Richard was Dickie. My brother Ronald was Ronnie, except for in the family we always called him Ronald, but all his friends called him Ronnie, so he had a nickname. My sister Dolores, in the family we all called her Dolores, but everyone else called her Dolly. And then there was me, Darlene. The closest I came is when I got a vanity plate for my car. At the time we were only allowed 6 characters, so I couldn't put Darlene, so I put Darl. Some people have called me Darl or Dar, but no nickname, and it bothered me greatly. When driving, do you listen to the CDs, tapes, the radio, or nothing? I listen to nothing for 99% of the time because music makes me very, very sad, and I do a lot of crying in the car, especially if there's music. I usually listen to nothing and just let my brain work. Are you a window person or an aisle person? On a plane, I definitely like the window because you know how when the plane stops, everybody stands up and they want to stand there for 20 minutes while waiting for the door to open? I don't get that. I want to sit down. I want to stay seated and wait. And if I'm in the aisle, the person by the window is like, "Can you get up, please? I'm getting off here." It's like, yeah, I'm getting off here too. But there's no reason for us to stand up yet. So, window. Let everybody stand up and look like fools. I'll sit there and rest. How do you relieve stress? What the heck? Is there a way? Somebody tell me. I guess I used to drink it off way back then, but I don't do that anymore. What's your favorite childhood TV show? It's hard. You know, like when I was really little, I used to like, what was it? Was it called Wonder Dog? I loved that. And I liked, you know, Flintstones, different cartoons like that. But, you know, as I got a little bit older, I really liked, you know, the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch. Gotta go with those two. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I always knew from very little that I wanted to be self-employed. I don't think I knew the words self-employed, but I knew I wanted to just have my own business. So I succeeded. What was the best prank you ever pulled off? Okay, I actually have a pretty good prank. I had some fake dog poop, and this is when I was an adult, in my 20s, and it really looked like dog poop. And we had a pool with a deck, and had a whole bunch of family over, and the deck had steps, and I put the dog poop on the steps, like as if a dog would have gone there and kind of like balanced on the steps. You know, not likely, but everybody noticed. They're like, "Oh my God, look what's on the steps." And so I'm like, "Oh, it can't be." And I'm like, "Oh my God, really?" And I get down and I smell it, and I can still remember my brother-in-law's face. He is like, and then I come up with it in my mouth. Well, at that point, they kind of knew it had to be a joke. Well, I don't know. Maybe they thought I really was hungry. I don't know. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, whom would you choose? I have a hard time with this one because if I really told you the kind of people I would choose, you're going to think there's something very, very wrong with me. So I can't actually name names because I would have to think forever, and I got stumped on, I think, this question on a different Q&A that I did. I would be wanting to sit down with people that nobody in the world would want to sit down with, except a few of you have said that maybe you would. I know it sounds terrible. I know it sounds terrible, but like the first person that popped into my head, okay, this sounds terrible. Charles Manson. I want to talk to somebody with that kind of mind and say, what does it feel like inside to be you? Because I am one of the most, I don't know how to say this, I have a lot of empathy and sympathy for people who do horrible, horrible things. And he's not really even a good example because he didn't like really physically do anything, did he? I mean, he was like the mind leader or whatever. But people like Jeffrey Dahmer, there's a good example. Jeffrey Dahmer was born to two very normal parents and had a very normal brother. He grew up to be a cannibal and a serial killer and would do an interview with his father, and all I could look at was that man and say, what happened? I know we have free will, but I don't think people who can do stuff like that have control of any kind of free will. I want to sit and talk to somebody like that. I don't know if it's just because of my struggle with mental illness or, seeing how my mother can be, and but I just want to talk to somebody like that. I just feel for these people. It must be horrible. I am sure there are people who do horrible, horrible things in this lifetime that they go through and feel horrible about it. But I think that there's got to be some people that they can't control it. If that urge is there or it's just so powerful, it's just like, somebody who just can't stop doing that needle in the arm. I've never done heroin, so I don't even know if I'm making sense. But I can only imagine it must be that powerful. And I feel like it's very sad that people are born and they go through this life and they can do heinous things and then they die, and it's like, what was that all about? What was that for? Why? Why did that have to happen? And why does everybody hate those who don't do what they're supposed to do? Because aren't we supposed to all be like all on this earth for some sort of the same reason? I just don't understand. Where is the line where we say, okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're not okay. You're out of here. I don't know. Okay, boy, that question certainly struck a nerve with me. If you could get back any article of clothing you once wore, what would it be? The only thing I can remember that I loved greatly were my go-go boots. When I was about 6 or 7 years old, they were like, just a little bit over the ankle, white go-go boots. I don't know if anybody even knows what that is. They were like what dancers used to wear. The go-go dancers. And I used to use white shoe polish on them. If you could hire any actor to portray you in a movie, who would you choose? I thought about this one, and I think Melissa McCarthy is kind of a good match. I know she's lost a lot of weight, so she'd have to gain some weight back. But she's kind of raw. She can be raw. She's funny. I like her. If I could play any instrument, what would I play? I would love to be able to play the piano. I've taken lessons a few times in my life, and I know chords and things like that, but it would be really nice to be able to play. If you could hear anyone in history give a speech, whom would you hear? I don't know. Again, I'd probably pick somebody that nobody else would ever want to hear. If you could live in one city the rest of your life, it would be right here in Sanford, Maine. I love my city. It used to be a town, now it's a city. Realistically, I'm sure I probably won't because I will move to wherever Skylar and Derek are, but if I could have my perfect world, I would have my family here with me in Sanford, Maine. If I could make any fictional character come to life, which would it be? I can't think of anything. I don't know. When I was a kid, what did I dress up for as Halloween? I never had purchased costumes. We used to have big buckets of just old clothing that was my sister's and stuff, and I used to wear like old dresses of hers, so I'd be things like maybe an old lady or whatever. I think my very last Halloween, I'm pretty sure it was the last time I went trick-or-treating, I was a gypsy, and I really liked that. Do you sleep with your closet doors open or closed? I sleep in the living room, so there's no closets, but when I slept upstairs as I was growing up, I preferred the doors open because I didn't know what was behind a closed door. And I wanted the doors to be open so I could see in there. Felt safer that way. If I could be a cartoon character, who would I be? I have no clue. I think I just am my own cartoon character. Do you take the shampoos and conditioner bottles from the hotel? Yes, I do. And I'll take whatever's left of the roll of toilet paper and the tissues. Have you stolen a street sign before? No, but I certainly would have, had the opportunity been there. I would have liked that. Do you sleep with your sheets tucked in? No, I'm not a tucker-inner. Too much work to do that. Would you rather be attacked by a big bear or a swarm of bees? I think most say the swarm of bees, but no, I'm going with the bear. I don't want little pinpricks all over my body. I would rather just try to play dead and hope that the bear falls for it. Do you always smile for pictures? I think I probably do. Have you peed in the woods? I drank almost my entire life. I have peed everywhere. What size is your bed? It's a couch. What was the best concert you ever attended? I guess I'm going to go with my first one. It was the Guess Who in Texas. It's when I met Andy, and I was 14. What is your song of the week? I have no songs. Do you still watch cartoons? I watched SpongeBob and Paw Patrol with Skylar, but I'm glad she's getting out of cartoon stage. She likes the other, like, kid shows. How many languages can you speak? 2. English and French. Not fluently with the French unless I'm drunk and I don't drink anymore. Do you believe in ghosts? Yes and no. I have an idea that there's like spirits or something floating around, but I don't know that they're necessarily ghosts, like, you know, like we know of ghosts. But, oh, first concert, the Guess Who. Cheetos or Fritos? Cheetos. Can you curl your tongue? No. Ever won a spelling bee? No. Own a record player? Yes, I do. It's in my closet upstairs. Would you like to see... Who would you like to see in concert? I don't care about going to a concert. Sugar cookies or snickerdoodles? I don't even really know for sure what a snickerdoodle is, but I like sugar cookies, so I'm going with that. Can you swim well? Yes, and I'm not afraid of deep water. I'm the type of person that can jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean. But I'm afraid of, like, sharks and stuff. But the swimming, I mean, you know, do I swim well? I mean, no, I'm not going to win any races, but I do love the water. And I can float and swim, and I like to swim underwater like that. Are you patient? Not ever. DJ or band at a wedding? I'd have to go with DJ, but, you know, when I was a kid, I went to a lot of weddings, and back then it was a band. And there was just something so much more wedding about a band, so I don't know. I'm never going to another wedding anyway. Ever won a contest? I did win my iPad that I have, and it was like 6 months before I even opened it, because I was like, I'm never going to use this. It was through some writing picked by random, some site that I used to write on. Do you have kids? Yes, one, Derek. Do you want kids or want to have more kids? No. If I started over, I probably wouldn't even have the one that I have. I know that sounds terrible, but it's because I would like to start over and myself not even be here. So I don't wish life on anyone. I just think life is very sad, especially for people like Jeffrey Dahmer. Do you know that when Jeffrey Dahmer, he had gone to prison, obviously. I'll never forget it. I was riding down Main Street, and it was raining, and I heard on the radio that Jeffrey Dahmer was killed in prison. I had to pull over because I was crying so hard because I thought, no one is sad for this man, and I just think it was the saddest thing. I felt for his parents and his brother and just the lives he destroyed, and I just don't think that somebody with their right mind, I mean, is there really a right mind? I sometimes don't know. He was put on this earth and he did whatever it was that in his head he was going to do. And I just think that is so, so sad. I don't know. Anyway, I did. I had to pull over and I bawled like a baby for him. I cry anytime there's an execution. I don't care who the person is. I just say, oh my God, what a sad life. Does anybody else feel like that? Please tell me that somebody else does. Everybody in my circle, they don't feel that way. They're happy if a bad person is put in prison or executed. I'm not saying I don't want them to go to prison. I'm just saying I think execution is just, because I'm always afraid that what if any one of us could be awesome, wonderful people, and then we just like lose our mind and do something horrible. It's just scary. I just would like to be protected from going over the edge. But I think a lot of people just go over the edge. I don't know. It's just sad. There. You know it. You know the real me. And I'm going to tell you, I don't want to hear the free will story. Yes, everybody likes to say, but there is free will, and they chose to do that. I think there's probably a lot of things in this world that we don't necessarily choose. I think we're drawn or compelled or obsessed, and that minds can be maybe not working the way it should be. And it doesn't mean that I'm okay with people murdering others, but it just means that I will shed tears for the murderer. I don't know. I do. Every time something horrible happens, I feel bad for the people who caused it. Oh my God, I'm gonna go to bed and hide under the blankets and wait for the comments to come in. Thank you so much for watching. Hope I didn't make you run away now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.